Hello friends, my name is Lalit Soni and you are watching InNews by Drishti IAS. In this video, we will be talking about an important political development which has happened during the parliamentary session this time. That in Rajya Sabha or the upper house of the parliament, it was witnessed that the opposition has moved a notice for the removal of Rajya Sabha chair, that is Jagdeep Dhankhar. Everyone knows that the Vice President of India is basically the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So here we are talking about the removal of Vice President. So in this video, we will be talking about the procedure, we will be talking about the other intricacies, we will also see how it is different from the impeachment of president. So let's start our discussion. Here we will be seeing or talking about the opposition move no confidence motion against Rajya Sabha chair, and we will be talking about this particular issue. So here we'll be starting with the news and then we'll move to the next part, that is Rajya Sabha chairman. Here we will be talking about some constitutional provisions. Okay. Then moving further, removal procedure of Rajya Sabha chairman. Here we'll be specifically mentioning Article 67 of the Constitution. Specifically speaking, that would be Article 67 Clause B of the Constitution. Okay. Then what happens after the notice? As I told you that notice has already been moved forward. So we will be seeing that what is the process moving forward. Okay. And we'll be seeing the ambiguities in Article 67. When we talk about this particular article, we will be looking at the language and we will try to understand that what are the ambiguities which are available. Then anomalies in the impeachment procedure. Here we'll be referring to the difference between the impeachment procedure with respect to the president and vice president. Okay, so I hope that is clear. In the end, there will be a MCQ for your practice, so that you have to attempt and answer to me in the comment box. Now moving further, I would like to tell you that we are starting with the first offline batch for IAS Foundation course in English medium from 12th of December 6 p.m. at our Noida sector 15 center. So address is C171/2 block A sector 15 Noida. For more information, you can call on this number 9311 406 440. Now, other than that, at our other centers, that is Prayagraj, Lucknow and Karol Bagh, we are starting UPSC GS Foundation course. So date and timings are given over here. At Prayagraj, from 2nd January 2025, we are starting a batch for Hindi medium as well as English medium. Timings will be different. For Hindi medium, that is 6 p.m. For English medium, that is 5:30 p.m. At Lucknow Center, we are starting a course on 23rd of December 2024 in Hindi as well as English medium. Classes timing will be 11:30 a.m. And at Karol Bagh Center in Delhi, we are starting from 23rd December 2024 for English medium at 8 a.m. Okay. Other than that, we have one more initiative for you, that is Sambhav 2025. For those people who are preparing for examination this year, we have come up with this integrated prelims as well as mains practice. So here you can see 10 daily prelims practice questions will be given and 2 mains practice question will be given to you daily. And you have to do that quiz when we are talking about this particular 10 prelims practice questions. So you can also track your ranking, real-time ranking over here. So you can go through the website and explore more about the Sambhav 2025. Now let's move further and start with the news here. The opposition gave notice for a motion of no confidence against Rajya Sabha chairperson Jagdeep Dhankhar on Tuesday, that is December 10. The first such action in India's parliamentary history. When we are talking about the impeachment or the removal of the vice president or the Rajya Sabha chairman, that is happened for the first time. Okay, a similar motion has been considered by the opposition during the budget session in August, but that was not followed through on that occasion. So they have considered that, but they could not, you can say, move that particular motion. Okay, now this is largely a symbolic move of protest by the opposition that alleged that the vice president is unfair and partisan in the way he conducts the house. So basically these are kind of allegation which has been put forward by the opposition, and this is just a political gesture, because obviously opposition knows that they do not have the number to pass the resolution, but still it is a kind of a protest which has been put forward by the opposition. Now let's move further and talk about the Rajya Sabha chairman over here. Now the Article 64 of the Indian Constitution basically talk about that the vice president shall be the ex officio chairman of the Council of State. That is basically your Rajya Sabha or the upper house. Okay. Since the vice president and the Rajya Sabha chairman must be the same individual, because we are saying that he is the ex officio chairman. Okay, so they must be the same individual. That is why the removal procedure will also be same. Okay, their removal is also same, which is laid down in Article 67 of the Constitution, which we will be seeing in the further slides. Okay. Under this provision, the vice president shall hold office for a term of 5 years from the date on which he enters upon the office. So basically they are saying that the term of the office for the vice president is 5 years until unless he is going for the resignation or he is being removed. So here you can see, unless the vice president resigns before that, or by sending a letter to the president, so who he will be sending the resignation to, that is to president, and other than that, or is removed by the office, removed from the office, and who will remove him from the office, that is basically parliament. Okay, now let's move further and see the removal procedure. Now before going into it, I will give you a brief idea how this procedure works. So the removal of the Rajya Sabha chairman, if we are talking about, so what happens is that you have to give a notice first. You have to give a notice for at least 14 days before that you are coming up with such resolution for the impeachment of the vice president or the Rajya Sabha chairman. After that, then on the expiry of these 14 days, what will happen is that the house where this particular you can say process was initiated, in the case of vice president, this house is basically Rajya Sabha. When we are talking about the removal of the vice president or the Rajya Sabha chairman, the initiation of the proceeding is starting from Rajya Sabha only. Okay, now after that what will happen is that on the expiry of 14 days, the house will go for the discussion and then house will go for the voting. In the voting, they have to pass the resolution with the majority, and that majority will be of the total membership of the house. Okay, then once that particular resolution is passed over here, it will be sent to the other house, and in that house, that is your Lok Sabha, in Lok Sabha you will go for the again discussion and the voting, and here the majority will be the simple majority of the present and the voting. Okay, and once it is done, then that particular point of time, from that particular time, your vice president or the chairman of Rajya Sabha will be stand removed. Okay, so that is the basic procedure. Now let's see the intricacies and the details over here. Now, removing the Rajya Sabha chairman, the requirement for removing or impeaching the vice president are provided in the Article 67 clause B, which we have already seen. Now it states that the vice president may be removed if the majority of all the then members of the council, that is your Rajya Sabha, passes a resolution for his removal, which must be agreed to by the House of People. So basically there is this word which is used over here, that is agreed to. They are saying that first the Rajya Sabha has to pass the resolution with the majority of all then members. Okay, so those members which are at that point of time, or you can say the total membership of the House of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, now then this particular resolution must be agreed to by the House of People. Now this word agreed to has the ambiguity that what do you mean by agreed to, whether you have to pass it or you just have to agree, or it was not basically explicitly defined over here. So that is one ambiguity which is there, which will be you can say dealing with in the later part. Now under this provision, no resolution shall be moved unless at least 14 days notice has been given of the intention of to move the resolution. So basically before moving the resolution, you have to give up 14 days notice. Okay, so that is there, otherwise you will not be able to put forward the motion. Now moving further, upon the expiry of the 14 days period, Rajya Sabha will take up the resolution for the discussion. On the expiry, they will go for the discussion. After discussion, there will be voting. In the present case, if we are talking about, so it is unclear that whether they will be going for the discussion or not. Right now, we are talking about this particular notice which was given on the 10th of December. Now, 14 days, expiry of 14 days, that means that your 24th December. But what is happening is that the winter session is to conclude on December 20. Now, there is no past precedents which are there which we can follow. Right now, we do not know that what will happen after the session is concluded, whether in the new session they will be taking up the issue or that will end over here. Okay, and anyway, as I told you, this is a political gesture by the opposition, so obviously this motion will not pass. But again, we do not know what will happen now, so let's see what happens in the coming time. There are no precedents to determine the next steps. As I told you, there is no nothing of this sort has happened in the past. In any case, given the arithmetic in the parliament, it is almost certain that resolution will not be passed. Okay, so that is about what will happen after the 14 days. So that is the thing. Now, what are the ambiguities in the Article 67? As I told you, the word agreed upon, agreed to, that word has been used and we do not know what does that particular word mean. Okay, so H.V. Kamath, in the Constituent Assembly has pointed out that the requirement for the Rajya Sabha resolution to be agreed to by the Lok Sabha was delightfully vague. Okay, he has said that this requirement is vague, not even specifying whether the resolution must be passed by a majority or not. Okay, now Dr. B.R. Ambedkar has clarified that the Rajya Sabha's resolution needs the majority of all current members, all the then member, which has been written in the article. That means that all the current member and their majority should be taken in the Rajya Sabha. And when we are talking about the Lok Sabha, so in the Lok Sabha, they will be taking a majority of the present and voting. So here he has specified that the Lok Sabha's agreement require a simple majority of the members present and voting. So that means that the term agreed to, that means that you have to pass the resolution with the simple majority of the people who are present and voting. Now here you can see that there is a difference, that when we are talking about the majority for the passing the bill in Rajya Sabha, that is majority of the then members, and in the Lok Sabha that is majority of the present and voting. So please keep that in your mind. Okay, now moving further, here there is another thing with respect to the impeachment procedure of your president and vice president. Okay, so let's see. When we talk about the impeachment of the president, that is given in the article 61. Okay, so here you can see a resolution must be passed by 2/3 of the majority of the total membership of the initiating house. Okay, here you have to go for the 2/3 of the total membership of the house where this particular resolution was initiated. Now here is one difference when we are talking about the difference in the removal procedure of president and the vice president. One difference is that when we are talking about the initiation of the process, for the president it can happen in either house. For the vice president or the chairman of Rajya Sabha, it can only happen in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, now let's see. The other house investigates a cause of the charges to be investigated. When we are talking about the initiation of the process, that has happened inside one house. In that house, they have passed the resolution with the 2/3 of the total membership, and then in the next house it will go, and there they will go for the investigation, or they can cause it to be investigated by someone. Once investigation is done, okay, during the investigation there will be a chance which will be given to the president to put forward his case. Okay, so here you can say the president has the right to appear and to be represented during the investigation. Okay, now once investigation is concluded and they have found that the allegations hold substance, then they will again go for the voting. In the second house they will go for the voting, and there they have to go for the 2/3 of the majority of the total membership of that house. Okay, same majority is required over here. They will go for the 2/3 of the total membership of that house, and once they pass this resolution, so from that particular point of time, president will be stand removed. Okay, so that is the procedure for the removal of your president. Now here you can see, when we are talking about the president and vice president, there is a difference in the majority, there is a difference in the initiation as well. So right now here, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar at the during the time of the framing these provisions, he has said that although the constitution speaks of vice president, he really is a chairman of the Council of States. So basically they are saying that though he is vice president, but in reality he is working as the chairman of the Council of State or the Rajya Sabha. And in terms of his function, he is an opposite number of the Speaker of the House of People. So when we are talking about the you can say functions, you will be seeing that he is performing the same functions which is performed by the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. So here he will be removed as per the provisions, or you can say in a manner the Lok Sabha Speaker is removed. Okay, so here you can say the process of removal of the Vice President and the Speaker under Article 94 of the Constitution were same. So here when we are talking about the procedure of removal, the President and Vice President procedures are different, but the Vice President and the Speaker's procedures are kind of same. Okay, so that is the whole issue which we have talked about. Now in the end we will be moving for the practice question over here. What majority is required in the Rajya Sabha to pass a resolution for the removal of the Vice President? A. Majority of all members present and voting. B. 2/3 of the members present and voting. C. Majority of all then members of the House. D. 3/4 of the total membership. So you can attempt this question and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next episode. Till then, have a good day. Thank you, and please subscribe the channel.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.